Good evening, everyone, and welcome to We Digital Productions' coverage of the Greater Metro Hockey League. We're at 80 Knoxville Arena tonight as the Windsor Aces are all set to face the Toronto Predators tonight. I'm Justin Prince. Welcome to this evening's coverage. In net tonight for the visiting Toronto Predators, Max Weinman is in the net for the team. They'll try and improve on a 7-19-2 start to the 2018-19 campaign. Well, tonight, a player that had experience against this team last week. Anthony Cruz makes one of his first starts of the season, a couple so appearances on the season, but last time against Toronto had 43 saves on 45 shots in a 5-2 victory for the Windsor Aces over the Toronto Predators. Tonight's officials, Ken Wilson, Dave Fennick, and Tim Brooks, as we get all set to get underway. For the opening face-off, it's Evgeny Natchalenko facing off against the captain for the Toronto Predators and Denzel Jaynes at center ice as we're underway for hockey at 80 Knoxville Arena. The Predators are already poked away on their first rush up the ice as it goes back to the neutral zone. Defensemen work back and forth. Across center ice, the puck goes into the Aces zone. James tries to rush. Tries to go for the wraparound. Huge stop by Cruz. Having a dive on top of it with a stick. Stops a second shot. Third shot goes off the post. Fourth shot bounces around. And a wild first couple shots of the night for the Toronto Predators. As Coy Prevo makes the first rush. Gets another towards Bryce Chapman as he makes the stop. The net knocks its way a bit more towards the right. Play is not stopped quite yet. Just 40 seconds into play here for the Greater Metro Hockey League for the GMHL. Here on We Digital Productions. Toronto Predators trying to go for a one-on-one. Broken up quickly as Tabapov able to get back to it, the defenseman. Puck thrown back in the Aces zone as the first line changes get underway a minute into action for the Greater Metro Hockey League. Aces toss it back to the neutral zone. Pass between defensemen once again. Nikita Karchenko passes it along the boards. Rolls its way all the way down towards Nikolic. Now back along the benches. Aces toss it along, goes underneath the stick of Alex Seegers as it rolls its way to the corner. No icing called as Coy Prevo gets it. Pass to Luke Mahan. Touch pass. Goes off a couple sticks as here comes the Predators once again. They charge up the left side, going towards center ice. Now towards the right side of the Aces zone. Tossed towards the left side corner once again, charged against the boards. Tossed along from the new signing, Ivan Osserman. He's pressed against the boards. Trying to help is his teammate Michael Stolfus. Here comes the Aces once again. Prevo, cross-ice pass towards Dalton Langlois. Langlois can't get it to quite yet as Mahan keeps it in the zone. Now passed along Seegers to Langlois. Langlois poked away. Picked up once again by the Predators. Karchenko's pass bounces off a couple more sticks as it goes across the blue line back to center ice. Prevo retreats back to his own zone. About a minute and a half, 2 minutes into tonight's action as Prevo will just pass it off the boards, goes all the way back to the Predators. Colton McGuire, the leading scorer for the Predators, passes it along. Dot to dot, picked off quickly, Zach Gilbo. Charging now at it, Alex Seegers as it's almost poked away. Kept on sides once again, this time by Nikolic. Gilbo checked along the boards. Still now behind the goaltender, rolls its way back along the boards in front of the Predators bench. Rushing up the ice comes Toronto. Moving it along past Mitchell Olsen. Left side corner. Pass towards the face-off dot, check from behind. Puck poked away by the Aces as it'll be brought up by Nikolic once again. Passed along to Dalton Langlois as we have our first face-off of the game 3 minutes into the first period. And this is what happened the last time these two teams met. It was at the end of a 3-game straight stretch from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we are seeing that once again. A 5-2 victory for the Aces over the Predators, where the Predators had 45 shots on the goaltender starting tonight, Anthony Cruz. Aces have the puck along the blue line. Olsen, two-line pass picked off by James. James circles back to get it back. Keeps it away now from Piché. Bounced off of the stick once again, this time by Ivan Schwartzman as it's Grotto on center ice. Now brought back into the Aces zone. Quick shot, James for the glove stop. Face-off drawn by Cruz. Denzel Jaynes with the quick shot, the captain for the Toronto Predators. This Predators team, as mentioned, 7-19-2 to start off the 2018-19 season, heading towards the midway point. an up-and-down schedule, but they are coming off a win against North York on December the 12th. 7-4 was that matchup as they win the face-up and have to retreat back to their own zone. Feeling a lot of pressure from the Aces. Pass up towards center ice, picked up once again by the Aces. Zach Gilbert retreats back. Pass goes underneath the stick of Benjamin Bichet as it rolls his way to the corner, as that'll be called icing. Will go back the other direction. And for those that missed last night's coverage of the Windsor Aces, the Kingsville Kings won that matchup in a thrower over the Aces, 5-4 the final in the final 30 seconds. A game in which, while there was a lot of good scoring opportunities and shots from both sides, it was a game that came down to mistakes. For the Aces, two goals rather, were coming from mistakes. As the Aces come up the attack, running into a player this time, Lane Royce, as it retreats back. Avoiding a check from behind this time was Carrero. Isaac Carrero, quick shot, Cruz dives on. And a whistle call waiting for the celebration. And it looks like Cruz has in fact stopped the puck, my goodness. Both teams were waiting in hesitation from the bench before the Aces realized that Cruz made the glove stop, diving towards the ground. And now Jaynes will try and win the faceoff for the Predators as the Aces win this draw. Zach Hardig takes it up the right wing, cross to the left wing. Jake Pickersgill now, passed on towards Cameron. Now back behind the net, picked up once again Colton McGuire. McGuire avoids Hardig. Pass towards the boards, now the center ice. Pass goes behind Jaynes, bouncing around the stick of Cameron Pickersgill as it goes back to the defenseman. The Predators go for a line change. Approaching 1 quarter into the first period. 5 minutes into the action, approaching that mark as Cameron Pickersgill gets on sides. Hardig brings it in the zone. Hardig between 3 defenders, poked away. Once again, Toronto. Charge up the left wing. Try to set up a chance for a 2-on-3. Picked up behind the net. Maxim Nikolov as it goes now towards the point. Towards the slot, in fact, as Hardig picked it off. Jake Pickersgill will bring it up. Nearly runs into his brother and Cameron. 2-on-2 as Jake avoids one poke check. Shot goes to the left. Picked up in front of the goaltender once again, and Max Weinman. The Predators now will take it up the left wing this time. Michael Stroll going coast to coast. Still not with the pass. Going all the way to the corner. Looking for a teammate. Tosses it back to the right side corner. Nikief passed on back. Nace has now come back with it as Luke Mahan able to find Bryce Yetman. Bryce Yetman in his first game after 5 straight games off as he goes to the left side corner. He'll set back up the offense to the point. Mahan kept just on sides. Down low towards the left side point. Picked up by the Predators. Chance for a possible 3-on-3, but the Aces come back with it as Mahan able to get it at the blue line. Toronto going for another quick line change as Mahan tries to pass to Yetman. Goes out of the reach of Yetman as that will be icing. Just above 6 minutes into the first period here in tonight's action. High octane offense is what we've been seeing from the Toronto Predators tonight. For the Predators, that is something that again was talked about a bit from what we've seen from the previous time these two teams met, and something on the overall season is something that they have done in a lot of games. While they not have ones in the win column, a majority of the games have been fairly close. As now the action's backing away, Predators trying to put up a shot, blocked up. Cruz looking for the puck as the Aces have the puck. Poked on behind right side corner. Now picked up towards the point. Tossed on the wrist shot. Bounces his way to Cruz as he tosses it behind the net. Yetman gets the pass now along the boards. Trapped between 2 Predators. Trying to help is Luke Mahan. Yetman now charging back as the Predators had it. Yetman blocked the pass, and they're going to call a whistle, and we're going the other direction, it appears. Making the call is Dave Fennick, one of the referees once again tonight, to go the other direction. As now we'll have a face-up in the Predators zone. For those just tuning in, still no score. Just past 6 minutes into action, 13:47 even in this first period so far tonight. As both of these teams have had a high-octane offensive set and offensive tempo. Olsen from the point, meanwhile, trying to search around as there's the whistle. Goes right underneath the pads of Max Weinman as we'll have the face-off. And Max Weinman making the stop there for him on the season. Talked about a bit about him trying to help his squad, trying to get as many wins as possible. 4-5 on the season. A majority of the team's wins have come when he has started. but a 5.11 goals allowed average on the season overall, though, with an 87% save percentage. With 55 total goals allowed from him this year. Zach Gilbo, meanwhile, shot goes left. Charging at it towards the point. Aces can't keep it on sides as Gilbo gets it to center ice. Now pass to Seegers. Seegers back to Gilbo. Gilbo tries to track it. Picked on up this time, though, Matthew Hasty. Hasty rolls it along. Kept in the zone of the point. Now towards the slot. Pass to Seegers. Picked off quickly. Alessandro Nicastro able to pick it off as Jaynes tries to track it behind the net. Sean Gagnon gets tied up with them. Puck still sitting behind Cruz. He looks back as Gagnon and Jaynes ties up. Jaynes wrap around. Second chance. Cruz dives on top of it. Gets the whistle as we'll have the face-off. And Anthony Cruz continues to stand on his head in this matchup for both of these matchups against this team so far for the month of December. On the overall season, this is his 10th overall game played with a 3-2 record with a 3.18 goals allowed average, a 91.8% save percentage, and a shutout on the campaign. As the Predators have won the faceoff. Tossed towards the point, misses wide right this time. Picked up against the boards, Prizzuti. Prizzuti misses wide right this time as it rolls its way along back to the corner. Trying to poke it away, Gulen. Gulen passes now Tabapov. Ramil Tabapov looks towards the left side. He'll take it up himself, the defenseman. Tries to float it up, bounces between a couple sticks. He's charged hard into the corner as the Predators try and poke it on away. Now picked up once again by the Toronto Predators. Rushing up is Stroff. Stroff rolls it along the boards towards the corner for the play. Picked up once again from behind. Nechev can't keep it on his stick. Yetman bounces off his stick as Benjamin Piché gets it. Pass goes out of the reach of Gulen as Toronto completes a line change. Meanwhile, just on the edge. Just about 8 minutes into this first period. Here comes Jaynes, though. 1-on-1. Stopped by Cruz for the save. We'll have another face-off. The shots continue to come tonight from the Toronto Predators so far in this matchup. Multiple shots on goal every single possession before each face-off, as we've been seeing so far. As now the Aces win the draw. Aces taking up neutral zone. In fact, goes back to the Predators side. Now passed along center ice. Luke Mahan gets it on back. Now picked up by the stick of Colton McGuire. McGuire takes it up across the blue line in the Aces zone. Between three Aces, poked from Nikolic. Jake Pickersgill keeps it, but now gets checked. Nikolic tosses it back, in fact, into Pickersgill as it's tied up underneath Pickersgill. In fact, it looks like the whistle's called, as just indeed it was, as you might have seen, Nikolic had tossed up the puck, trying to move it down the glass. Instead, it ends up in the jersey of Colton McGuire for the face-off. 11:36 to go in the first period as both teams get a quick breather now to go for an hour line change, as the Toronto Predators have had a lot of players dress up throughout the season. So far in the season, 90 total goals for 148 allowed by Toronto. As we're backing away, Aces have the puck in their own zone. Slammed hard right at the blue line. Zach Hardig had tried to clear it forward. Gagnon now tied up, trying to poke it on away from a couple of Predators. Aces get it on back, they bring it across the neutral zone. Cameron gets it to Hardig. Tuck pass to Olsen, back to Hardig. Hardig shot, deflected up to the machine for the face-off. And another whistle. One of the main things when it comes to the Predators statistically on the season, a 76% penalty kill rate on the year. That is something to think about for tonight. 37 total power play goals allowed, 357 penalty minutes. That was a factor in the second period between these two teams before as Yetman's shot misses wide right. Toronto now along the boards. Three different players now pick it up, make it two as now Kravchenko. Pass along Schwartzman. Schwartzman loses the skates. Koi Prevo gets it. Now pass towards the point. Bryce Yetman, the captain. Across Tabapov. The one-timer stop. Trying to dive on it, Weinman. Rebound chance. Tapped on back Tabapov. Tabapov across the slot. Yetman gets it along the boards this time, though. Now it sets a one-timer, misses wide left from Koi Prevo. Natchalenko now tied up behind the net for the puck. Tabapov passed out. Intercepted on the pass out by Ronnie O'Connor. Ronnie O'Connor passes it into the Aces zone as Toronto once again changes up the lines, approaching halfway into the first period. Tabapov Passed on along, poked away from Coy Prevost. Kept in the neutral zone by Kyle Hall. Now taken up. Stolf. Passed along the boards. Rolls its way by Tabapov. Tracked down by Goulin. Goulin's pass intercepted. Kept behind the net. Along behind Cruz. Setting up towards the slot. Down low. Bounce to the left side of Cruz. Now bounces its way to the right side. From the right side corner. Shot. Deflected away. Goes to the left side boards. Picked up by Yetman. Yetman to Goulin. Goulin. Now finds Yetman. Charges up. 3-on-3 as Yetman drags the toe to the right. Dekes his way behind. Pass goes through the crease as it's picked up by Toronto. Midline change. Olsen and Gagnon rush back. Quick shot from the top. Covered up by Cruz for the face-off. And a near breakdown on the play after a bad pass leads to an opportunity for the Toronto Predators. For the Windsor Aces on the season, for those that are following the Windsor Aces for the first time tonight, coming into tonight with 2 of their past 5 being victories, 3 losses in that stretch though. After a loss to the Kingsville Kings just last night on December the 15th. As right now they are trying to keep the puck away from their goaltender and Cruz. In their own zone, Langlois. Langlois across Olsen. Olsen now able to find Langlois. He charges up. The former Leamington Flyer towards the right side corner. Poked on from behind, still with the puck though, Langlois. Sloth touch a puck cross, Gilbo now Seegers, back to the point. Now Gilbo, Zach Gilbo down low. Trying to dive on top of it, Max Weinman, as he's finally able to cover it up with the corner of the post. Just past 9 minutes to go in this first period as Max Weinman gets the face-off he wants right now. For the Windsor Aces, they've made a couple different adjustments for this matchup, and some of them seen their first playing time in a while at home here in this no-score game so far on We Digital Productions. One of those new acquisitions in his second time making an appearance was Austin Friesen making the face-off. Has now pressed along. Mahan. Now Jaynes. Bounces all its way off the glass. Kept inside the zone though by Cameron Pickersgill. Back behind the net, Mahan. Mahan. Hardig scores! Zach Hardig on the one-timer gets the first goal of the game. It's 1-0 for the Windsor Aces. And Zach Hardig continues off what has been a good season for him on the campaign. Now a total of 5 goals and 14 total points on the campaign for Zachary Hardig as it's 1-0 for the Windsor Aces. Face-off now being set up at center ice. 8:38 to go in the first period with our first goal of the game coming from the Windsor Aces as Mahan tosses it back to the neutral zone. Picked on up now once again, De Castro. De Castro goes back to Cruz. Cruz now passed along. Spinning behind. Tied up from behind Austin Friesen. Now Mahan passed along to Coy Prevost. Coy Prevost, 2 goals last night, will go for the saucer pass. Sets it up. Shot Friesen. Tries to get the rebound from behind. Tries to pass it towards the slot. Can't find anybody quite yet. Now picked up Coy Prevost. Prevost tied up with a couple Predators. Sliding poke check keeps it in the zone. Passed across towards Friesen. Can't find the man he wants to. De Castro tosses it back, but picked up Nikolic. Toronto midline change now as the Aces feeling pressure in their own zone. Pressure backs off as it goes back to center ice. Prevost. Pass across Tabapov. Now Friesen along the boards. Rolls its way all the way to the corner as the Aces go for the line change. Predators now trapped in their own zone, bring it across center ice. Tied up Prevost trying to poke it away from a couple of Predators. Julian Perzuti retreats back to his own zone. Passed across the ice. Kyle Hall. Kyle Hall tries to toss around the corner. Picked up Aces. Going. Quick shot. Second chance. He scores. And Benjamin Pichet off the rebound. Makes it 2-0 for the Windsor Aces. And a big-time goal for Benjamin Pichet. Picked up by the Aces mid-season. Had played for the Worlton Whalers before being brought in by the Aces last month. Had been a scratch for some games and now has just made it 2-0 for the Windsor Aces tonight over the Toronto Predators. For Pichet, it's his second goal in 5 appearances with the Windsor Aces this season. His 5th total points overall as well, as we're back underway with the puck rolling its way to the Aces zone. Goin tracks it on back. Now passed across, Tabapov forced the retreat back towards that side, picked up Toronto. Maxim Nikief, toss back, going towards Stroll, but couldn't get the Stroll. Now rolls back to center ice, retreats back blue line. Predators forced a reset. Back and forth in their own zone. 6:43 to go in the first period as Zach Gilbo checks the Predator puck off. Sets up down to the slot. Quick shot. Rebound chance. Tabapov couldn't get towards it. Here comes the Predators once again. 2-on-3 opportunity. Left wing. Stroll with a shot. Deflected up. Cruz tries to bat it out of midair. Able to dive on top of it for the faceoff. And another fast rush leads to the faceoff with the pressure continuing on. Both teams able to go for another line change here, but to get towards some of the new acquisitions again. Piché was one of them last month. This month, Austin Friesen, who sets up on one of the wings right now for this face-off, in just his 2nd appearance on the season for the Essex, Ontario native will watch as Alex Seegers wins the draw, helps get it to Olsen. Puck rolls its way to Evgeny Nacholenko, Presto on the boards. The captain and Jaynes gets it, now Seegers. Seegers looks towards Olsen, now looks towards right wing. Passed across to Nacholenko, too hard on the pass. Passed on back by Toronto. Kept on in the neutral zone though by Seegers as we got a whistle. And we're going to have another face-off, it appears, here right after the puck had deflected just a few seconds ago off Alex Seegers. They're going to say the puck has to go all the way back to the Aces zone. Going for the face-off this time, it's once again going to be captain of Denzel Jaynes facing off against the Aces. Aces win another draw. Olsen looks on behind the net. Now pass towards the blue line. Kept in the zone by Toronto. Schmaltzman check from behind. Puck rolls back to the neutral zone after a stick front goes around. Puck rolls its way back to Cruz's lap. Tries to cover up, can't get to it. Tries to dive on top of it. Able to keep it away from the crease though as the Aces now work behind the net. Trying to get it out of their own zone. Toronto keeps up the pressure. Now Friesen. Passed on to the point. Going for the one-time of the Predators. Here's couldn't get it towards the net. Now Jaynes, quick shot. Goes wide right this time. Olsen rolls it along. Now to Nacholenko. Nacholenko looks towards the left side, center of the ice. Picked up McGuire. McGuire, pass off the boards, finds its way to Nacholenko though. They say no icing in this situation as Predators go for mid-line change. McGuire circles around now, Nacholenko. Now taken up now, Ivan Osmanin. Off of Osman, now goes Mahan. Mahan off the glass, picked up once again by McGuire. McGuire bounces off the stick of Zachary Harding as it nearly lands in the bench. Kept brought into the zone after a hard open check from Mahan. Now Nikolic skates behind the net, now picked up, trying to pass across ice was Harding. Bounced off the skate of Colton McGuire as it goes all the way back to Toronto's own zone. They pass it along the boards. The Castro. Now towards center. McGuire retreats back once again. Cameron Pickers going Harding, trying to help. Tossed across the zone as there will be icing with 4:26 to go in the first period. For future games and broadcasts of the Windsor Aces, be sure to tune in to www.wedigital.ca to follow the Windsor Aces. For those just tuning in, it is 2-0 for the Windsor Aces over the Toronto Predators, and what has been a wild matchup so far here tonight. 2 total goals on the scoreboard. Benjamin Piché with the most recent of the 2 goals. Zachary Harding had the first goal of the matchup tonight as the Predators continue to feel the pressure in their own zone from the Aces. Cap to the point, Tabapov from his knees. Coy Prevost down low, trying to dive on top of it, covering up is Weinman for the face-off. And Max Weinman has been feeling the pressure so far in the 2018-19 season, as mentioned, in the leader in total wins for this team. Speaking of this team in terms of the points coming into tonight, the statistics rather, Colton McGuire is the leading scorer for this team with 37 points, 15 goals, and 22 assists. For those tuning in, seeing this team for the first time, also a significant amount of Maxim Nikief and Oliver Sabrinsky as well in the season. Sabrinsky currently a scratch for tonight's match as Toronto watches as O'Connor is checked away from the puck. Tabapov comes up with it. Tabapov to Prevost. Prevost waits corner. Poked away, too patient. Strofe. Strofe tosses it back to the captain. Jaynes. Jaynes along to the left side boards once again. Trying to stop it along. Pursuing. Now Aces find it up the ice. Prevost up the right wing. Drags the toe, spins a 360 as Weinman makes the stop, covers it up for the face-off. And a nifty move from Coy Prevost draws the face-off. Coy Prevost had some nifty goals last night, as talked about a few minutes ago in that matchup last night against the Kingsville Kings. 1 goal, 1 assist on the matchup in the loss. Cameron Pickersgill had the most goals for the Aces with 2. As the face-off's won by Toronto this time. Olsen keeps it on sides. To Yetman. Langlois. Touch pass, tries to get it to Gilbo. Gilbo in traffic, kept on sides though by a charging Olsen. Now Gagnon down low towards the slot, in pressure. Gilbo couldn't get the pass, Jaynes rolls it along. Bounces around towards the skates of Isaac Carrero. Now tossed onto the back of the corner, and that's going to be icing once again for the 3rd time this period from the Toronto Predators. 3 minutes and a second to go now in this first period here on We Digital Productions, and we'll have the draw once again. Once again, getting back to the most recent games of the Windsor Aces for the 2018-19 season. In their past 5 games, a 4-3 overtime loss to North York, a 12-5 decimation from Tottenham, the victory against Toronto December 9th, and a 7-6 victory against Niagara-on-the-Lake before returning back home last night for a 5-4 final seconds loss to Kingsville. They try and redeem that tonight as they push Toronto back their own zone. Gilbo tied on up. Jaynes. Now tossed back and forth along the boards. Pursuti trapped. Jaynes able to help him out. Jaynes the captain across the ice. Right wing. Now towards the slot. Right side face-off done as Mohan pokes it away. Now goes for the hard check. Coming in to help though is Carrero. Carrero nearly bunched against the boards, has now picked up Nikolic. Nikolic passed along. Yetman. Touch pass still Gilbo. Now passed along Yetman once again. Yetman wrist shot goes wide left this time. The puck rolls its way around. Going for the 2-line pass. Make it 3-line passes. Toronto goes for a line change. Mahan gets it back up. Mahan now finds his way. Now Friesen. Pardon me, Langlois. Langlois looks on back. Langlois behind the back pass to Nikolic. Nikolic watches as this one missed the opportunity to keep it on sides that time. That was Sean Nichols who tried to keep it on sides right at the blue line. Instead, Toronto has to reset. Still in the midst of a line changes the Predators as the Aces have time to reset. Yetman center ice. Now Goulin back to Yetman. Takes into the zone towards the slot. Deeks to the right side of traffic. Where shot goes to wide right this time. Rolls its way back towards center ice as Tabapov stops. Puts up an ice break. Picked off. Possible breakaway chance. Make it 2-on-1 as Cruz dives his way to his back as it's stopped by Cruz's pad. Gilbo now retreats back. Retreating back lane Goulin. Goulin past from behind. Kept on sides by charging McGuire. Now picked up Yetman. Bryce Yetman, the former OHLer, up the right wing. Looks for a man across. Sets up the one-timer. Lower shot goal. It whipped on that time. Tabapov now passes it back in the zone. No one can touch it from the Aces. 1 minute to go in the first period. Toronto Predators have a couple more opportunities to possibly try and get their first goal of the game here. That's Gagnon, tossed on back. Predators still charging. Cruz first stop. Tries to go for a second stop as whistle call it, able to cover it up for the face-off. And the shots continue to fly now. Already double-digit shots for the Toronto Predators in this matchup on Anthony Cruz here tonight. Now towards the face-off dot once again. They look towards the right side of Anthony Cruz on the left side of your screens here. As now it's going to be Alex Seegers winning the draw this time for the Aces. Coy Prevost moves it along. Alex Seegers chases along towards it in front of the Predators bench. Looks for it, picked up though by Pursuti. Pursuti along the boards to Jaynes. Jaynes with 30 seconds left, kept on sides by Prevost. Prevost moves towards the slot. Shot goes wide left from the wrister. Pushed back out of the zone by the Predators to center ice. Coy Prevost will look now left wing. Goes for a 360. Avoids a second poke. Stops at the blue line. Still in the neutral zone. Now takes it in the zone. Now looping back Seegers. Forced to retreat back. 5 seconds to go in the period. Aces playing keep away as after 20 minutes of play, it's 2-0 Windsor Aces over the visiting Toronto Predators at 80 Knox Sherman Arena. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the start of your second period here on We Digital Productions. Once again, your score, 2-0 Windsor Aces in the Greater Metro Hockey League. Welcome back, everyone, to We Digital Productions' coverage of the Greater Metro Hockey League as the Windsor Aces lead 2-0 after a wild and fast-paced first period. Shots on goal, the Predators 12, the Aces 11. Both teams already in double digits, and many more so opportunities and spectacular saves from Anthony Cruz to hold on to a shutout so far after 20 minutes of play. Goals were scored by Zachary Hardig and Benjamin P. Shea, but assist credit to Luke Mahan, along with Jake Pickersgill and Coy Prevost. Setting up for the face-off, Bryce Shepman to lead off the second period for the Aces, facing off against, this time, and losing to the draw, Mitchell Strofe as we're underway. The Predators taken across center ice, poked away by the Aces. Gilbo, pass picked off. Now brought into the Aces zone, taking up the ice, bounces around, in fact, towards the slot as Olsen gets it. Talipov to Yetman. Now Langlois. Pass to Yetman, goes off the mark, bounces his way across though. Stopped in the first shot by Weinman. Here comes Toronto as they take it back out. Brought up the right wing. Maxim Nikiv. Nikiv tries to chase after Talipov. Talipov watches as Langlois gets it. He takes it up center ice to the right wing. Stops in front of the Aces bench. Back to Yetman to Langlois. Talipov passed on back Yetman. Pass back and forth. Gilbo tries to keep it on sides, retreats back to the blue line. Brought just across the blue line, able to avoid the offsides. As Langlois misses the pass, as this one will roll back to the Aces zone for icing. Just 1 minute into the second period here on We Digital Productions. Heading into tonight's game, the standings right now, the Windsor Aces currently 5th on their own sum in the standings behind North York by 2 points with a 16-9-1 overtime loss record, trying to get towards win 17 as Anthony Cruz makes himself stop number 12 on the game tonight. As mentioned, the Toronto Predators, while having some strong games, have had a very rough win-loss total this season with a 7-19-2 record. Second to last in the standings, last in the South Division standings are the London Lakers, who have a 3-24-2 record. They watch as their shot goes wide right after the one face-off, goes back to the point. Slap shot, deflected above the head of Cruz. Rolls back to Prevost and on the Predators bench. Prevost takes it on the wing. Jaynes has the check, goes back Alex Seegers. Seegers checked on behind. Jaynes intercepts the pass. Back on the right, down the corner, Mahan. Now goes back again, Nacholenko. Roll back Prevost. Prevost dances with the stick. Towards the slot, passed on back to the point. Mahan to the left side point. Milo Nikolic goes pass along to Prevost. Prevost finds its way on the slot. Can't keep it in reach though as Nacholenko as Mahan retreats back. Falls on back on the pass as Prevost takes it back in the zone. Takes it up the center. Charging back Seegers at the point. Tossed back out of the zone by the Predators. He'll bounce its way off the glass all the way back. 2 minutes into the second period. Mahan. Alon now Nikolic. Cross Prevost. Bullet pass to Seegers. Seegers blocked on the pass attempt as the Predators again flop it above the head of Seegers out of the zone. Prevost will take it back, hand it off to Mitchell Olsen. Olsen bounces off the stick of Seegers, and one of the first times this season I think we've seen it hit the meshing on this side of the stands. 17:35 to be exact to go in the second period as you're currently looking at Alessandro Nicastro, who has had a pretty decent impact in this matchup so far tonight. He'll watch as Zachary Hardig charges to the left face-off dot, tosses up a first shot. Now traces back behind the net. Pass towards the slot to Jake Pickersgill. It rolls to the left side boards. Nicastro tries to toss it back to out of the zone. Olsen keeps it in the zone, puts up a shot, bounces around in front of the goaltender. Hardig traces back with it to Cameron Pickersgill. Softly touched pass, Nicastro picks it off. He takes it up center ice, tosses it back in the corner instead. Cruz will sit behind the net as the Predators start a line change. On the other side of the ice, meanwhile, The Aces cannot get anything going. Coy Prevo calling for a line change as Cameron Pickersgill goes for the charge. Jake Pickersgill goes for a respective check from behind as Cameron gets it back in the Predator zone. Pass misses the mark to the point. Retreating back to pick it up once again is Gagnon. Sean Gagnon. Pass softly along the ice. Goes by the Pickersgill brothers to Cameron. Cameron takes it left side. Cameron across the point. Whistles around as that's going to be a goal scored. Cameron Pickersgill corner pocket makes it 3-0 for the Windsor Aces. And this continues to be the Aces' game tonight. After a tough loss last night, showing similar pace to what they've seen with the last match against Toronto. 3-0 now. In the previous matchup, the Aces had scored about 3 goals straight after a Toronto Predators goal in the second period. Diving on top of the quick shot, though, is Weinman for the faceoff. Max Weinman having to go on his head, basically, to dive on top of that play to stop the quick shot. Just approaching the 4-minute into mark of the second period as Benjamin Pichet loses the draw this time. Predators watches is picked up by the Aces, still behind the Predators net. Now rolled along the boards. Tossed along to Keith. Passed on back once again, kept in the zone. Matthew Hasty. Matthew Hasty will take it, pass it on. Charging back after it. And going for icing is the puck as it went out of the reach of Mitchell Stolf for the faceoff. Everyone now taking a breather here as we're 4 minutes into the second period here on We Digital Productions. Once again, for those just tuning in, the Windsor Aces lead 3-0 after scoring 2 goals in the first period from Zachary Hardig along with Benjamin Pichet. Most recent goal coming from Cameron Pickersgill. As now this puck rolls its way all the way back towards the corner. Avoids the icing this time, the Predators. That's Zachary Hardig able to find Gilbo. Gilbo takes it up the right wing. Across the ice to the left side point. Yetman pass Mohan as he lifts the player up in midair. A huge check in the open air on Nikit, but the Predators still have the puck. Now taken up right side. Passed along. Stolf. Pass crossed along in the corner, in fact. Puck rolls its way back to center ice. Yetman charges towards the left wing. Charges towards the goaltender, has to retreat back behind the net. Pass towards the slot. Zach Gilbo tries to double one. Diamond on top of it. Weinman knocks away behind the net. Charge from behind. His laneways gets a check. Gilbo puts up the shot. Weinman gets the glove stop. Covers it up in his lap for the faceoff. And a crazy sequence of plays there to get to the quarter way of this second period here on We Digital Productions. Going for the face-off this time, Coy Prevo for the Windsor Aces, facing off against the captain, Denzel Jaynes, as Jaynes wins the draw, but coming up with it is Toronto and the Aces at the same time behind the crease once again. Gagnon bounce to Prevo. Passed along the boards, now right side corner, tossed towards the left side, Nacholenko across ice. Now pass on back, Coy Prevo this time, trapped between 2 Predators. Now sliding after it, Alex Seegers falls back as Jaynes tries to trap it. Nacholenko poked from behind. Towards the top of the slot. Whistle called right before the shot. And it looks like they're pointing towards the other direction. And we'll have to see the reason why here. A possible penalty possibly here for for it looks to be possibly for the Aces. Or a possible deflection. In fact, it is possible deflection being called on the play indeed. With 14:38 to go in the second period. Jaynes goes off to the face-off dot to face-off against Alex Seegers as the Predators win the draw. Shot from the point, bounces off a couple faces from Nichols at the point. Puck passed out back out of the zone. Retreats back to the Predator zone, taken along now. Kravchenko will take it along the dots. Now across center ice. Out of the neutral zone into the Aces zone, avoids 2 poke checks. Avoids 1 check, avoids a second check. Puck still in the corner. Kravchenko, now Jaynes. Jaynes to Kravchenko. Pass on back, Olsen now picks it up. Olsen along the stick of Nacholenko as it rolls back to the blue line for the Predators. Toronto goes for a line change. As the Aces come back with it, they retreat back again to their own zone. Prevost avoids one poke check from behind. Avoids a second as he continues to loop back. Passed along the board, Seegers. Right to left wing. Pickersgill finds Olsen. Olsen, quick shot put up. Prevost trying to go for the wraparound. Pass to Jake Pickersgill, poked away. Kicked away by Weinman on the shot. Olsen on the boards, tries to toss up a shot, doesn't find anywhere's mark. Puck now rolls to the right side corner. Back in the stick of Kravchenko. Kravchenko now taken by Mackenzie of Coma. Now along the slot. Back left side corner. Taking Predators now on the boards. They go back to center ice. Two players for the Predators trying to pass it back in the Aces zone. Olsen comes back with it. Toronto again goes for a line change. As now taking it up the ice goes the Aces. Pass goes off the mark. Possible icing as Weinman calls for it. As we'll have a face-off. Jake Pickersgill, the intended player on the pass up the ice along the boards. The action continues here on this beautiful mid-December night. Sunday night hockey at 80 Sherman Arena for the Greater Metro Hockey League. I'm Justin Prince for those tuning in here on We Digital Productions. 3-0 again your scores. The Aces have been feeling the pressure in their own zone for much of the second period. Chasing after it is Jake Pickersgill as he tracks it down alongside the boards. Back behind Weinman. Puck rolls along, Goulin with a check from behind. Can't keep it onside the zone. Toronto still trying to get out of the zone. Coy Prevost back with it. Coy Prevost with a nifty move, scores! And Coy Prevost off the post and on the nifty stick work makes it now 4-0 for the Windsor Aces. For Prevost continuing up his scoring production for the weekend. Second goal of the weekend for Coy Prevost. For Coy Prevost on the season, he came into the night as the team's 4th leading scorer. Now tonight, with his 10th goal, makes it 4-0 Windsor as they go back in their own zone to Zachary Hardig. Hardig, 3-line pass, finds Pickersgill. Jake Pickersgill breakaway. Dekes around as Weinman makes the pad stop. Pass to Cameron, stopped. Cameron picks it up left side corner. Back to Hardig. Hardig pressed along the boards. Tries to pass it to Jake, picks it up himself instead. Back to Jake. Jake towards the slot, puts up a shot, scores again! And Jake Pickersgill makes it now 2 Windsor Aces goals in the span of 15 seconds. It's now 5-0 as the barn doors have been blown off the building. Just after a quick goal scored on the big opportunity we just seen a few moments ago coming from the nifty move of Coy Prevost, it's Jake Pickersgill set up right at the perfect spot in the slot to make it 5-0, 8 minutes into the second period. The Aces already back on the attack as Cameron takes it. Cameron poked from behind. Toronto along center ice. Taking it into the zone now, Kyle Hall. Hall tosses it in instead as Talipov tosses it along. Bounced off a Predator. Jaynes trying to chase back after it. Goes to Jake Pickersgill on the left wing. Jake chasing back with it. Trying to poke it away from a Predator. Bounces its way off the stick of Goulin back to center ice. The Aces go for a line change. For those just tuning in, 5-0 to score after 2 goals in the span of about 15 seconds. For the Windsor Aces to go to 5-0. Talipov, meanwhile, looks back and passes it along the boards. Picked up by the Predators defenseman. From right side to left, back along, back and forth it goes. Puck rolls its way to center ice. The center, Denzel Jaynes, left side corner. Noses the puck as Talipov gets it. Talipov from one knee, finds Jetman. Breakaway chance, deflected away by Weinman on the blocker. Weinman with another good stop with the pressure coming for the Aces this period. The Aces back with the puck now. Jetman, whistle called after having the puck in the corner. And waiting for the official signal as we'll have a face-off with 10:48 to go. The penalty box doors will open. It will be an Aces penalty coming against Benjamin Piché. For Piché, he draws the first power play opportunity for the Toronto Predators of the night tonight. On the season, the Aces are having a penalty kill percentage of 87.6% in 2018-19. 15 power play goals allowed. But the part of their power play ability, power and kill ability rather, has been the shorthanded goals. 8 shorthanded goals in 2018-19 as you look at the board. 2-minute minor given to Benjamin Pichet for the penalty. In terms of the Toronto Predators, a 10.9% power play percentage with 21 goals on 192 opportunities. Opportunity 193. Tries to set up for the shot at the point. One time off the post, scores! And the one-timer, Nikita Kravchenko, makes it now 5-1. Still a 4-goal deficit for the Toronto Predators, and the power play unit just has to go out for 13 seconds for Toronto. And the charge whistles continue to go on. The charge horns, in fact, as the Aces now win the draw. Zach Gilbo circles back. Mahan now finds Nikolic. Nikolic goes off the pads, in fact, all the way to the meshing of Weinman for the faceoff. About halfway now in the second period, as you look at Bryce Yetman, as talked about a little bit before, had been a scratch for 5 straight games. And as one of the top scorers in the GMHL, playing his first game back in the Aces uniform since that break. Still 4th in overall goals. He's trying to prevent one here from Toronto as that one goes off the post. Cruz watches as this rolls along the boards. Tracks by Lane Loys. Lane Loys will take it up. Lane Loys charges up center ice to the right side. Yetman towards the slot. Pass towards Yetman. Open crease as Weinman watches as his teammates able to help him out. Yetman gets up from a hard hit towards the boards. Toronto chucks it back into the Aces zone. They change up the lines once again as the Aces toss it along the boards. Kept inside the zone. Jaynes towards the slot, poked away from the slot. Lane Loys now touch pass, was able to get it to Gilbo. Gilbo poked on back along the boards. McGuire tied on up along Jaynes. 2 different Aces there as well, trying to get it back. Goes back again, neutral zone. Gagnon, pass deflected away, but Yetman still gets it. Back to Lane Loy. Lane Loys goes behind him. Toronto comes back with it. Perzuti, flat shot goes above the head of Cruz off the glass. Bounces its way along the boards to set up the offensive set. Yetman takes it back once again. About 9 minutes now to go in the second period as a whistle called for a puck lift with 9:10 exactly in the period. They'll go back the other direction as that is not allowed here in the GMHL. For those just tuning in here on We Digital Productions, 5-1 is your score for the Windsor Aces over the Toronto Predators. The Predators on a one-time shot from Nikita Kravchenko made it 5-1, just a few minutes to go, just 13 seconds into a power play. That is after 2 goals by the Aces scored in the period in the span of 15 seconds. As the Predators trying out a second, but poked away by 3 different Aces. Prevost passed along the boards, ends up in the bench instead, as it comes back out where the door is for the faceoff. Evgeny Nacholenko has not taken a lot of faceoffs tonight for the Aces, one of the main faceoff men for the team this season. Also has been very productive as well, and many times this season as a player. Overall, statistic-wise, Evgeny Nacholenko, 9 goals, 6 assists on the season, 15 total points, as well as a power play goal, 12 penalty minutes overall. Top 10 in scoring for the Aces. Now it's Goulin tosses it into the Predator zone. Max Weinman passed on back to his teammates, now kicked along the boards. Still along the boards, Goulin now tied up now with Nikiv. Nikiv poked away Nacholenko. Nacholenko tries to poke it away, rolls his way to center ice. Possible opportunity broken up by the Aces, still bouncing its way around a couple sticks as it finally finds the ground along the slot of the Aces. Now on the left side faceoff dot, quick shot, Cruz first stop. Picked up Nacholenko. Nacholenko struck from behind. Okamara can't get a shot off. He reaches towards the left side of his helmet. Still the Aces back underway. 2-on-2 opportunity as Prevost dances with the puck. Prevost tries to set up as he puts the puck towards the back of the net while hitting the boards and trying to see if it is indeed signal for the goal. It looked indeed, it possibly was, as that puck went to the back of the net and is now potentially 6-1 if looked at here correctly. As a matter of fact, they have waved it off. 5-1 still. The puck had went to the back of the net, but they have waved off the play, it appears, for the Windsor Aces after Prevost hits the boards after putting up the shot with 8 minutes even to go. Crazy fluky play as that's one-time shot after the stop puck from the skate. Sets up the opportunity again for the Aces. Prevost. Predators. Watches now Cameron Pickersgill takes it in the zone. Hardick sets up in the slot. Pass to Hardick. Dances around, diving out of Weinman. Underneath Weinman's pad. Jake Pickersgill can't put it back in. Huge deflection and stop from Weinman and his teammates. A huge bailout as the Aces still have an opportunity. Nicola keeps it on sides from the right side point. Can't get it to the net. Now Mahan tosses it back left side corner. Now back behind the net, McGuire. McGuire passed along. Toronto pushes it up. Aces retreat back on defense. Picked up now, Nicola. Mahan now. Tossed along center ice. Spinning a 360, naked 420 as Hartman's tied along. McGuire tries to poke it away. Poke check party ensues as Nacholenko, Pickersgill gets it. Pickersgill now right side. Jake tries to set up in the slot. Cameron still trying to dance around with the puck as he's stripped. Toronto charges back up with it. Stolf makes the charge up the ice. Pressed hard into the boards by Olsen. Trying to go for the sweeping poke check from his knees as Stroll has now poked away once again by the Aces at center ice. Chasing after it is Friesen. Friesen now tied up now with Berzuti. Pass back to center ice. Toronto completing a line change. Toss back into the Predator zone meanwhile. Lane Loys sees it roll all the way towards Yetman. Yetman check from behind. Predators back with it. Big time opportunity, a one-on-one. Jaynes breaking up by Olsen from behind. And a whistle called, and this is going to be a penalty. They're going to say a holding call now called against the Windsor Aces on that opportunity. And you've seen it coming for Mitchell Olsen. The second power play coming up for the Toronto Predators. And this appears a possible 2-minute minor now for Mitchell Olsen. For Mitchell Olsen, for him on the season, these will be penalty minutes, potentially 11 and 12. The 2-minute minor now given for holding in this 5-1 hockey game with 6:18 to go. Power play could last until the 4:18 to go in the second mark. As the Predators have won the draw, they charge towards the slot. Quick shot on Cruz. Covered up alongside, squeezing along the post for the face-off. And after the glove stop, it's still 5-1 with 6:09 now on the clock. For those that missed the first power play goal from Toronto tonight, they scored a power play goal in 13 seconds earlier this period. Can they score again is the question. Face-off, second straight one by Jaynes. Jaynes takes it up after a teammate squeeze. Back to this point. Diving around Cruz. Puck deflected up to the sky. Goulin can't clear it. Jaynes back behind the crease. Picks it up corner, back to the point. McGuire. McGuire, one-time shot. Blocked by a couple Aces as Talipov would take it up. Here comes the shorthand unit on the 3-on-2. Towards the slot, Talipov pass towards him, picked off. Here comes Jaynes. Takes it now towards the side, shoots it wide right. Puck rolls on back to center ice. Lane Loys still searches, in fact stopped along as Lane Loys now takes it back to the Aces zone. Talipov and Goulin stretch it. Now pass to Gilbo. Finally cleared on off as Toronto calling for a line change. Aces in the midst of one. Still less than a minute to go in the power play. 5:11 to go in the second period. Quick shot once again. Missing this time, Kravchenko. Trying to add a second goal in this period. Back puck bounces around the slot, bounced around. Second chance. Cruz dives around for the glove stop. Are you kidding me? And Anthony Cruz continues to stand on his head tonight with his saves. Just one goal allowed on 20-plus shots faced tonight. And with 41 seconds to go in the power play, he'll have to deal with a possible next couple shots. Line change, it means Mackenzie Okamura, pardon me, to the face-off dot. Faces of getting Nacholenko, the Aces' top face-off man, wins another draw in 2018-19. Clear attempt on the boards, fails as McGuire keeps it in. Now passed across towards left side point. Berzuti on the blue line, pass back corner. Nicolet gets to it. Prevost trying to help it along for the clear. He charges up now the left wing towards center ice. Now into Predator zone. One-on-one chance. Dekes around. Diving around on the ground is Weinman. Weinman gets back on the ice. Weinman watches that the shot does not come from the Aces as pressed against the boards. Nikolic. Coming towards the end of the power plays. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 4:17 to go in the second period. Milos Nikolic tries to set up a pass. Nachalenko puts up a shot. Goes in front of Weinman. Jaynes able to help out his goaltender. Captain's onside though by Weinman. Quick shot! Bounces its way towards the crease. And it looks like the puck actually landed on the back of the net from the shot scored. 6-1 your score. As Bryce Shetman with a laser beam makes it now a 5-goal lead once again for the Windsor Aces. It looked pretty similar to the previous shot from Coy Prevo we've seen in the second period where the puck ended up landing on the back of the meshing. This time, Bryce Shetman shoots it right towards the back threading towards the back part of the net. The Aces now try and set up an opportunity with 3:48 to go in the second period. Taking it up the ice now, Stolf. Stolf is checked, still charging towards the goaltender Cruz, diving around the crease. Cruz dives on top of the puck as whistles fly. That's one of a face-off. And Anthony Cruz having to take a breather. Another phenomenal stop for the Windsor Aces' normal backup goaltender. Having a few words from Jake Pickersgill as well and some of his other teammates after another crazy stop in this matchup tonight. For Bryce Shetman as well, by the way, that is .77 in 2018-19. His 37th goal on the season for the former OHLer. Back under action as the Predators have the puck in the Aces zone. Pass to the point. Hasty puts with a shot deflected wide right. Now chasing back towards it, Nichols, as this one's cleared towards out of the zone. Hardick chases after it. Weinman leaves the crease as Hardick tries to put up a shot blocked by a Predator. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the second period. 6-1 your score. As the Aces have blown this game wide open with 4 goals scored in the past 17 plus minutes. Puck around the Predators bench as Hardick gets it. Trying to take it back out of the own zone. Now pressed against the boards. Put up in the sky. Possible icing chance. Goes back to Weinman instead. Saucer passes it to the blue line. Kept towards the Aces. Cameron Pickersgill dances across. The one-timer scores. Make it now 2 goals in the span of 25-30 seconds for Bryce Shetman. For Bryce Shetman, make it now 38 goals in 2018-19. Both of them coming with under 4 minutes to go in the second. And it looks like a member of the Toronto Predators staff is coming on the ice because it looks like Max Weinman is taking off his helmet and padding right now, is laughing it off. But again, a coach is coming off the Toronto Predators bench. And it looks like we might see the backup come out. Indeed, standing and coming onto the ice now is Radu Alexei Padina after now 7 allowed goals and not even 40 minutes of action. Coaching staff now checking out Max Weinman as you see Radu Alexei Padina, 6'4", the 18-year-old from Mississauga, comes and checks on his fellow goaltender. He has made a few appearances this season for Max Weinman. His appearance tonight is done tonight. 7 allowed goals on many shots tonight from the Aces, but again, a rough night tonight against Windsor here at ANOC Sherman Arena. Meanwhile, in the net tonight, and now as the Aces talk at center ice, is going to be Radu Alexei Padina. 1-8 in 2018-19 and making his 12th appearance in 2018-19. A goals allowed average of 5.69 for the 6'4" goaltender from Mississauga with a save percentage of 87.8%. We're back underway as the Predators win the faceoff right off the draw. Charging towards it, now toss it back to behind the net. Trying to go for the quick play, Nick Heath. Towards right side point. Now toss to the corner, back behind the net. Tied up behind the net is Hall. Aces back with the puck now as Talipov back to Yetman. 2:20 to go in the second period and another whistle called. And it looks like a signal call for a high sticking from one of the officials. That is referee Dave Fedek saying a penalty for the third time tonight for the Windsor Aces. This time Langolin called for the penalty. For Langolin, he'll take a quick seat as he talks with Shane, as you see with Sean Gagnon on the side of the window right there. But already one power play goal allowed tonight for the man in the penalty box, as talked about just now, Langolin. Penalty minutes possible, 22-23. Came in tonight, 21 overall. As Cruz has to look behind him right now as the puck is behind him. Back to the point. Going for the shot. Goes wide right this time on the shot. Coming from Kravchenko. Now back around dancing with the McGuire. Passed along the boards. Once again finds Kravchenko. Now back to the left face-off dot. Quick shot put up. Kicked away by Cruz on the pads. Pass from behind goes to no man's land from Nikit. Now pressed along a couple players. Nikit comes back to help. Back to the point, Kravchenko. Back to Nikit. Nikit trying to stretch it back out, back behind the net. Tries to stab in the slot. Trying to bounce around. Chance for a rebound shot. Quick shot. Bounces off the pads of Cruz. Aces still can't clear it quite yet. Able to finally do so as it just rolls underneath the stick of Bryce Shetman. Bryce Shetman will try and track it. Instead now backs off as the Aces go for the line change for this penalty kill. 1 minute and 20 seconds are to go in the second period. 1 minute to go on the power play. Predators take it back up left wing. Poke from behind. Now back on behind the net. Charging towards the wing. Aces try and clear it. No, in this time looking for the shorthand chance. Yatman dances around with it towards the slot. Puts up the wrister, corner pocket. Making a hat trick for Bryce Shetman. And Bryce Shetman goes straight to the bench. And in the span of 4 minutes, in period number 2, Bryce Shetman has put on another show tonight. Another first star performance, a hat trick for the captain for the Windsor Aces. It's now 8-1 with 59 seconds to go in period number 2 still. Play being halted as a Predator picks up a piece of tape off the ice as the Aces win the draw this time. Still a power play for the next 32 seconds for Toronto after the shorthanded goal as they go back to their own zone. They try and charge up. Dancing around with the puck, Nicastro. Nicastro tosses it in the Aces zone with 20 seconds to work with. 20-second difference between the power play and the final game clock for the second period. Trapped along a couple players in the corner. Trying to poke it away, Friesen bounces around towards the slot, poked away by the Aces. Now back center ice. Talipov charges up, setting up Nacholenko. Pass to Nacholenko. Tick-toe pass, scores. And make it a blowout. 9-1. 7 goals in the span of 19 plus minutes now for the Windsor Aces. And it's starting to get ugly in this one for Nacholenko. We mentioned some of his impact on the face-off dot, and sometimes statistically as the top 10 in scoring, making 10 goals on the night tonight. And Mitchell Olsen will move to the face-off dot. And now they're saying right now to make sure who is exactly supposed to face off, as the power play had just been ruled ended right at the same time the goal was scored. They continue to try and figure out who takes the draw. They go with Piché. Stick already knocked away from a member of the Predators as they pass it into the Aces zone. Picked off on the pass from Gagnon. Left side wing, Gagnon. Piché on the blue line. Across now, finds Friesen. Now taking up Hardig. Hardig poked off as that will end off an ugly second period if you are a Predators fan. The Windsor Aces have blown the barn doors off the doors. 8-1 you'll see on your scoreboard so far here after 40 minutes of play. But man, oh man, the Windsor Aces have taken full control of tonight's matchup in this one. We'll take a short break. We'll be back right after this on We Digital Productions. Welcome back, everyone, to We Digital Productions' coverage of the Greater Metro Hockey League. For those that were watching us right before the break, the scoreboard showed 8-1. It is now officially updated to 9-1 with the most recent goal, as per mentioned on the last scored goal, with about a minute to go in the period, 20 seconds rather in the period. It has went from close to ugly in the span of 20 minutes. The Aces scored 7 goals in the span of the second period. Majority coming in the final 4 minutes as the Predators have the puck to start off this third period. Langolin has the puck. Passed along to Bryce Yetman now along the corner as he circles around Langolin. Takes it up himself across center ice. Now Langlois back to Zach Gilbo. Gilbo poked from behind. Here comes Toronto. Just going to be tossed into the Windsor Aces zone as the Predators go for the line change 30 seconds into the third period. That's going back to retrieve it. Now it's the Aces. Golin, passed back on to Golin. Back to Yetman. Touch pass picked off by the Predators. Goes back to Golin. Talipov gets it. Back to Golin. Toying with the Predators as Yetman gets it. Across the left wing, Langlois. Langlois checked off the puck, put in a 360 as the Predators toss it back to the neutral zone. Rolls its way past this center ice all the way to the left side corner to Luke Mahan as both teams have gone for a line change just a minute into this third period. Taken up from the slot, now kept in the zone by the Predators. Mahan picks it up along the boards, rolls its way back to Talipov. Talipov to Langlois. Langlois' touch pass goes to Gilbo. Gilbo softly touches it now to Mahan. Mahan now Nikolic. Nikolic tosses into the Predator zone now as it rolls along to Bryce Yetman. Now tracked on back Langlois to Gilbo. Tries to deke around Hasty. Hasty pushes him against the boards. And now passes it along to a couple players. Yetman now tosses it back towards Langlois. Now Gilbo, in fact, as it's now passed along by the Predators. Kept on sides by Nikolic just by a hair of his teeth. As Yetman trying to add to his hat trick. Had the shot deflected away. The second one kicked away as well. As it's tossed out of the zone by the Predators. Mahan chases after it. Predators go for a line change. 2 minutes even into the third period on We Digital Productions. Bryce Yetman with it. Looks up the ice. Wedges between two Predators. Still passes it along now to Gilbo. Gilbo from the point to Langlois. Taps it along, picked off quickly. Nicastro. Nicastro checked from behind. Zach Gilbo with the check as it rolls to center ice. Picked up center ice along the red line. Taken up Nicastro. Nicastro passed along the boards again. Now Mahan gets it. Pardon me, Nikolic. Mahan waits on the other side of the ice as he goes now behind Nikolic. Now taken up, now left wing. Left wing, Prevost. Prevost dodges, dekes, puts up a shot. Kicked away very slightly towards the right side. Prevost second chance, misses wide right this time. Now rolls its way to Nichols. Now Gilbo. Pardon me, Seegers as it rolls by the Predators. Charging back after it, Olsen. Also charging after it was Carriol, as that will go back the other direction for icing. About 3 minutes into this third period, as you look at Mitchell Olsen, who served a penalty in that second period. But for this team, again, 7 total goals in the period. Alex Seegers, one of the few players tonight not on the point sheet for the Windsor Aces tonight, it seems. As Jaynes wins the draw now. Denzel Jaynes, the captain for the Toronto Predators. It leads us now way along the boards. Olsen pressed along by McGuire. Now checked along. Nacholenko, huge check in the corner. And instant whistles coming as a couple players started shuffling. Dave Fedek immediately waving off the play, as we'll have to see who heads their way towards the penalty box. Sean Gagnon's currently skating his way to the bench, but skating his way to the penalty box is Colton McGuire for that check. A huge check from behind, straight into the boards on Evgeny Nacholenko. We mentioned McGuire, again, the leading point scorer. Also the team's leader in penalty minutes. 75 minutes in the box in 2018-19. Second is Julian Perzuti with 40 on the team coming into tonight as it's instantly cleared. The first penalty kill of the night for the Predators, in fact, against the Windsor Aces. In terms of their penalty kill rate, 76%, as talked about early in the first period, is a possible factor that came in during the second period of the last matchup between these teams as the puck is whistled as offsides. Focus in on Bryce Yetman, though, setting up for the face-off. He had a hat trick in the span of 3 minutes. If you're just tuning in on We Digital Productions, an absolute performance for Yetman tonight. For Yetman, those 3 goals, were in part pushed along and helped Jake Pickersgill get to 5 points on the night tonight. They'll be passed along to Cameron Pickersgill on this penalty kill. Power play is now taken along. 5-on-4 still as it's now flipped along outside the rink and into the locker rooms. The puck goes for the face-off. And a performance indeed to remember for Bryce Yetman, as he is currently all smiles after taking the week off. Now 3 goals in the span of, again, 3 minutes in the second period. One of the top goal scorers in the GMHL in 2018-19. Fourth coming into tonight with 36, now up to 39. As now the Aces still looking for the first shot of the power play, as it's covered up once again by the Toronto Predators. Radu Alexei Padina making the cover-up. As you look at Jake Pickersgill tonight, 4 assists and a goal. A majority of those assists coming in the second period, as he'll go off for the line change. The Pickersgill brothers in total, 7 combined points. Cameron Pickersgill had a goal scored in the last period as well, with an assist, as they switch the face-off man to one of the newest players for the Windsor Aces towards Lane Loy. Lane Loy now sets up for the draw, as now they're going to switch to Luke Mahan. And now as the confusion is cleared on up, the Predators again with another draw, and this time they want a shorthander. Charging up the ice, breakaway chance, deking around off the post, as Cruz knocks the net off its moorings with his skate. Adam Panzella, one of the newest members of the Aces, celebrating on the bench, as now a heck of a moment there on the play. That was Maxime Nikif rushing up the ice. One of the top point scorers for the Predators, as talked about a little bit before. For Nikif, he's going to watch as the draw is won this time by the Aces. Nikif on the season, 29 points, 20 goals scored, and 9 assists heading into tonight. Mahan, meanwhile, trying to dish up an assist to Nikolic. Nikolic's pass bounces off his stick. 30 seconds left on the power play. 15-12 to go in the game, as Gilbo gets it back at center ice. Softly touched back to Toronto with 20 seconds still to kill. Toronto Jensen with it. Skating towards Nikolic. Now Nikolic gets on up as Langlois has it cleared on behind by him. Goes back to Cruz. Cruz to Yetman. Yetman dances with it. Now takes it up the ice. About to be back to 5-on-5 as Yetman takes it towards the slot. Deeks to the right side dot. Towards the back of the net. Sets up a one-timer. Mahan covered up for the face-off. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Alexei Padina makes the save with 14:41 to go. Now, quickly in terms of shots on goal in the last period, as expected, the shots on goal were terrifically different. In the first period, it was 12-11 Toronto. The second period, 16-6 for the Aces. So far this period, it's been just a couple shots on goal for either side, as it's in the corner right now for the Aces. They try pass to the point. Olsen's not there. Has to retreat back to his own zone. Olsen, 2-line pass, make it 3-line pass to no man's land, as it will bounce its way all the way back towards Berzuti. Berzuti sits behind his net. Berzuti, pass poked away at first. Bounces to center ice instead. Now Gagnon passed on behind to Bichet. Bichet doesn't pick it up. Goes all the way towards Cruz as he calls for icing for the face-off with 14 minutes to go. We'll go back the other direction. For those that watch in the GMHL, one thing to note, the possibility of the mercy of the running clock, I should say, in the GMHL. At the 10-minute-to-go mark, if both coaches were to agree, we could see the possibility of a running clock. That has not been the case so far tonight, but in this 9-1 hockey game, it could be a possibility if the Aces add on more goals. Goulin sets up the shot from the point, nearly tapped on in by Seegers, and that's covered up again by the 6'4" goaltender Alexei Padina for the face-off. Burns a couple seconds more off the clock for Alexei Padina in his second season in the GMHL. Going to the face-off dot this time. Once again, it's going to be Jaynes, the captain, facing off against Alex Seegers. Face-off won by the Aces. Goes to Talipov at the point. Shot goes wide right. Now chases back towards Talipov. Talpa forced to retreat back center ice. Going to Nacholenko at the blue line. Nacholenko wedged by two different players at the blue line is now chasing after Friesen. Back with it now McGuire. McGuire pass back. Now Nicastro. Nicastro to Jaynes. Jaynes dancing around on his stick. Going around the corner of Gulen. Going now left side corner. Back to the point, McGuire. McGuire still with it. McGuire puts up the shot. Rebound chance, scores. Alessandro Nicastro gives Toronto something they've been wanting for a while now. A goal. It's now 9-2. And for Nicastro, it brings the deficit down to 7 for his team. And on the season overall, it's just his third total goal in 21 games played for Nicastro. His fifth total point as well in 2018-19. Face-off won by the Aces. Puck picked up by Toronto. Charging towards the net, Schwartzman. Schwartzman loses it back. Picked up by Windsor's Prevost. Checked by Nicastro from behind. Prevost still dances with it. Looks up the rink. Finds Jake Pickersgill. Pass, backhanded check behind. Now back towards Mahan. Mahan retreats back, pokes it towards center ice. Puck rolls towards the center. Now tossed back in the zone by Toronto by Schwartzman. Toronto line change now as under 7 minutes, just past 7 minutes into the third period rather. Now back center ice. Carrillo rolls along the boards. Picked on up now Nikief. Nikief towards the point, intercepted by Prevost. Prevost slowly dances with it. Pass towards center ice. Dances around a few Predators. Now up to the skies. That'll be called offsides. While a face-off right from the right center, face-off Dawn. And with 12:24 to go, we'd like to remind you for future games and broadcasts of the Windsor Aces, please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and more, as well as go to www.wedigital.ca to follow the Windsor Aces. It's been a thrilling season for the Aces as they look to try and finish off the weekend with a win. Olsen with the puck, meanwhile, as it goes back to center ice. Now taken into the zone, Prevost. Cameron Pickersgill waits across the slot. Shot deflected up to the machine after the stop by Alexei Bedina for the face-off. Next time you can see the Windsor Aces is another Essex County rivalry matchup. They've been really packing them in for the month of December. For the now third out of 4 times in December alone, it'll be the Kingsville Kings taking on the Windsor Aces. That's December 22nd at 8 Knox Arena. Puck drop 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also be sure to check We Digital Productions' coverage from 89 once again on WeDigital.ca. Puck is now on the stick between Yetman and Gagnon. Yetman back to Gilbo. Gilbo dances around the blue line. Now takes it back center ice. Yetman softly touched. Laneways down low. Gilbo couldn't get the deflection he wanted as Toronto takes it back. Toronto down by 7 goals, 9-2 your score. As it's passed to the point. Shot from the point deflected up to the sky from Carrero for the face-off. And you got to give credit to Anthony Cruz for a lot of the shots he stopped tonight. Just 2 allowed goals for the second straight game against Toronto. In the previous matchup, it was 43 saves on 45 shots. Tonight, while it hasn't been as many shots, a majority of the shots in the first period faced were he had spectacular saves. Diving across the crease. Now pushing up the ice towards Yetman of the Aces. Yetman gets the pass back to Olsen. Olsen pressed along. Now back right side corner, back behind the net to Langlois. Langlois avoids the poke from behind. Yetman dances around with it back to Gilbo. Gilbo in the slot. Tries to go corner pocket, but hit by the blocker. Tries to pass it back to Yetman. Back between him and Gilbo. Gilbo knocked off the puck. Now with it, Okamara. Toronto slowly dancing with it with 9 minutes to work. 9 minutes past the third period. Poked up by Gagnon up in the sky. Lifted up and taken away now by Ozyman. Ozyman knocked off by Olsen. The charge horns draw as right now Toronto puts up the shot. Pad stop again by Cruz. Skating around with it, McGuire. Dances around across the slot. Sets up the tap and scores. Now one of the newest acquisitions for the Toronto Predators, Ivan Ozyman, in his second game with the team, has his second goal in the GMHL for Toronto. It's now 9-3. And I mentioned him a little bit earlier on in the first period. Just his second ever game with the Toronto Predators after being announced as a signing on December the 12th. After playing previously for the AAA midget Markham Waxman team. Able to put in now 2 goals in 2 games since joining the Predators. A good accomplishment for sure for the young man. Meanwhile, Toronto already back on the attack. Falling down after the Czech sportsman. Taking it up now, Talipov. Talipov takes it up, but offsides as Piché is a stride ahead of him. Approaching halfway to go in this matchup in this third period. Still a 6-goal lead for the Windsor Aces. As you look right now, Emil Talipov has 2 assists so far tonight. As now they move from to the opposite face-off dot for this draw. The Aces win the face-off. Talipov gets the pass. Talipov takes it in, back to Harding. Zach Harding drags around the dot. Towards the slot, tosses in the wrister, falls on around. Wanted the call, did not get it as the Predators take it up. Putting on the charge horn, just rushing up the ice is Jaynes. Jaynes knocked off the puck, dances around again. Poked by 2 different Aces, now back neutral zone. Back towards the Aces zone as Talipov has a dance off the stick of Goulin. Setting up opportunity, Schwartzman shot goes over the head of Cruz once again off the glass. Friesen will pass it along. No one's there to pick up. Big mistake from the Aces. As now they'll swatch as it's skated around the boards. Avoiding multiple poke checks, Nikip pass goes to no man's shot. Setting up on the point once again, the deadly pointsman and Kravchenko passed along. Wraparound shot, hit by the blockers. Bouncing around now along the crease. And Peck squeezed along the post as Cruz gets the face-off with 9:21 to go. A quick note, running clock has not been initiated in this matchup. The Toronto Predators have been turning things around for this third period so far tonight. The 2 goals so far in the span of about 10 minutes. Those goals so far in the period, most recently for Ivan Osmanin so far in this one. The other goal, of course, scored by Alexandro Nicastro, as now Prevost gets the pass. Prevost fakes the pass. Now saucer pass. Going between traffic, out of the reach though of Cameron Pickersgill. A possible breakaway poked away. Toronto will now take it with McGuire. McGuire poked from behind by Seegers. Poked up to the sky by Nacholenko as it's tossed in the zone by Toronto. Cruz stops the puck as now Nikolic passed along. Pass now back. Now Prevost charges up. Up center ice. Pass to the left wing. Across the ice to the slot. Prevost can't keep the stick on it. Back to Mahan at the point. Mahan tries to toss it to the net. Now picked up once again. Now Stolf. Stolf along Mahan. Rolls back to Cruz as he'll just put a glove on it for the face-off. And now a quick draw with 8:27 to go. And someone that, while only with 1 assist tonight, has had a lot of shots is Michael Stolf, with multiple opportunities for the Toronto Predators, it seems, tonight. Coming into tonight's action for Stolf on the 2018-19 campaign, was in the top 6 in scoring for the team, with 13 assists coming into tonight, 4 total goals. Face-off won by Windsor as Yetman goes up the ice. Pass goes just underneath the stick from the pass from Pickersgill. Jake now tries to help in the corner. Picked on up now Toronto. Passed along Hall. Hall pass off the boards. Instead tries to get space. No one's there to get to it though. Olsen tracks it back. Picked up though by Toronto. Okamara now sees it goes to the left corner. Tracking after it, Osmanin. Picked up towards the point. Now again Gagnon now back with it, Windsor. Along the Jake Pickersgill. Jake takes it up. Across the blue line neutral zone, goes to Cameron. Cameron, Pickersgill towards the slot, down low. Shot from Bryce Yetman goes above the head of the 6'4" goaltender. One member of the Predators loses his stick as he goes off to the bench. Meanwhile, the Predators just toss it up over the head once again of Anthony Cruz on the shot from Osmanin. Cruz tries to watch it along towards the slot. Wrap around, trying to go for the shot. Jaynes unfortunately blocks it for Toronto. Jaynes with a check. Aces now take it back into the zone as they bring it up the wing. Going to the right side wing now, Yetman. Yetman avoids the check. Cameron Pickersgill to Yetman. Yetman, rich shot, deflected up into the sky for the face-off with 7:08 to go. And an hour quick breather. You're lucky to the captain, Denzel Jaynes, for the Toronto Predators. We haven't talked much about him statistically tonight. Coming into tonight, the captain has 27 total points, 10 goals, 17 assists, and 5 power play goals, as well as a shorthanded goal on the season. He's also been very good in the draw circle tonight. As a member of this team, 4 years now with the Toronto Predators. His best season last year with 50 points. He's trying to help out his team as he watches it skate along. Now poked around in the blue line. Back neutral zone. Track back for the Aces. Gilbo. Gilbo tossed along the slot. Langlois. Langlois, 6:39 to go. Tied on up with a player. Now taken back in the zone. Pass from Prevost intercepted by Jaynes. Now the Aces try and set up the cross as it's poked away. Toronto, possible opportunity. Here comes Nicastro. Nicastro, wide right, left by a mile on the shot. No chance for a rebound as it's nearly poked away for the Aces. Taken back to center ice. Now Langlois to Prevost. Prevost, slot. Deflected on the shot, wide left as Langlois avoids the check. Avoids the backhand check that time, McGuire. Langlois tosses it back, picked up though back behind the net by Stolf. Stolf passed on along. Now poked away from the blue line. 5:53 to go in the third. Here on Wheat Digital Productions, the Aces lead 9-3. Prevost with the puck, puts up the shot, covered up by Alexei Padina for the save. And Zach Gilbo apparently did not hear the whistle, and now we got a fight behind the net. Langlois and Prevost putting up swings as well as a couple Predators. Zach Gilbo is also caught up in the, it looks like in the stick or the padding potentially of Alexei Padina. Finally, they're unhooked, but now after a bit of a scuffle with 5:43 to go on the clock, we might have some possible penalties for the remainder of this game. Both Prevost and Langlois for swinging punches on the Predators will go off to the bench. They'll sit, in fact, in the penalty box. They'll have some time to think. The drop player going off to the penalty box for Toronto is Matthew Hasty. So he is the only player for Toronto sent off to the sin bin. As we're waiting for the official word on the timing for these penalties. They have now sent a second player, in fact, in Colton McGuire for the second time tonight. He'll set in the penalty box. And they're still trying to make sure this clarification here to make sure how many players are supposed to be on the ice here. Toronto thinks it's going to be a 3-on-3. It appears that might be the possible case. As you look at your scoreboard, they're still instituting the penalties. It's 3-on-3 with at least a couple minors on the very least. The action back underway with the Aces winning the draw. If you're wondering what the situation is, it looks like they have marked this penalty situation as a 3-on-3 between Windsor and Toronto. 2 players apiece sent off to the box as Cameron Pickersgill in a poke check battle, now bounced around to the corner. No one there on the left side corner on the more spread out play that you see in 3-on-3 hockey as Cameron Pickersgill tied up with Gilbo. Gilbo tosses it back. Chasing back after it now is Kravchenko. Kravchenko still tied up with Cameron Pickersgill. Bryce Yetman decides to stay away from the poke. They're giving now space up the wing. Nakeef passed on back. Dancing around with the puck, Kravchenko. Now Kravchenko passed across. Putting up the shot off the poke. Scored. Make it 9-4 as that's going to help Toronto make this a bit more respectable. Still 4:52 to go with a lot that can happen, but already 3 goals in the span of about 15 minutes in this third period now. 2 players from each penalty box will still sit in the sin bin as we still stay 3-on-3 hockey tonight for the next couple minutes at least. They are still putting a minute and 3 seconds for that minor. The Aces, they couldn't respond quite yet. The shot that time stopped. The shot from Talipov. Now taking it up now, Stolf. Stolf puts up the shot, goes off the glove of Cruz. Picked up by Talipov. Talipov up the right wing, the defenseman. Soft touch pass, Jake Pickersgill. Jake Pickersgill puts puts it into the water barrel, scores. And the Windsor Aces respond on the 3-on-3. It's now 10-4 here at 80 Knox Sermon Arena. For Jake Pickersgill, make it a phenomenal night for the score sheet. 2 goals, 4 assists to make it now 10-4. Still 41 seconds at least for each of the 2 players in the penalty boxes. Denzel Jaynes loses the draw this time, as now Zachary Hardig was the one taking the draw. Talipov tied on up. Talipov goes in the zone. He's lined up along with Langulin for this 3-on-3. Denzel Jaynes now passes it across, able to find his way to Carrero. Isaac Carrero, left side, puts up the shot, tries to squeak its way by Cruz, but he's able to cover up for the face-off. 4:03 to go in this third period now. And both teams are taking this opportunity to make fine-tuned adjustments that you see a lot in 3-on-3. A lot more open-spaced hockey that many people like, whether it's virtual or in real life, it seems. As the Aces won the draw, but tied up with Gulin that time, not able to get it to his Kravchenko. Zachary Hardig takes it around to the right side point. Still trying to look for a corner as Kravchenko tries to check from behind. Tries to settle the pass. 2 different Aces going off the wrong page. Major mistake. Everyone comes out of the box as Denzel Jaynes puts up the shot and the breakaway scores. What in the world was that from the Windsor Aces? 2 different Aces run into each other, setting up a 3-on-none for Denzel Jaynes. For the captain, it's now going to make it 10-5, splitting this lead in half. The 11th goal on the season for the captain, is 28th on the season. It is now 10-5 after a oh my goodness moment if you're a Windsor Aces fan. Face-off won by the Predators as they go right on the attack. Shot goes wide right from Oseman. Couple different players tied up behind the net as Yetman tosses it towards them. Gagnon still tied up with Okamura. Left corner, Prevost, touch pass Yetman, 2-on-1. Yetman looks across, puts up the shot, off the post it goes this time. As it rolls its way to Olsen. Olsen passes it to Yetman in the corner. Yetman tries to pass it to Laneways. Laneways off the pad. Third chance towards the corner. They're still behind the net. Now Laneways has it back to the point. Now Olsen puts up the right shot. Blocked on the shot. Yetman chases back after it to the right side corner. Yetman puts on a shot. Goes off the pads now. And then now a whistle caught, and we got a fight. McGuire now having punches thrown from Coy Prevost as their sticks got tied up with one another. Coy Prevost now being led towards the penalty boxes, it appears here, for the second time for an altercation in the span of about 5 minutes. He's going to go off to the box. McGuire will stay on the ice, it appears, with a 10-5 lead for the Windsor Aces with 2:50 to go. This game has taken a very ugly turn in these past couple minutes. That's to say the least, unfortunately, here. 2-minute minor being given to Coy Prevost. Possible cross-checking, maybe cross-checking reaction, as now what is going on here? Calling a whistle right before then, coming off the ice trying to get off was Kyle Hall, thinking it was a 4-on-4, and now it is a 5-on-4 as they realize, and now there's a face-off violation, as now he'll go to the left wing, to the Don is Osmanin, who tries to get it towards Hall. Nicollet tries to clear it off the boards, goes just out of the zone. Toronto trying to toss it back, now Windsor back with it. They'll touch it off Mahan. Pass goes by Nacholenko. Nacholenko loops on back. 1 minute and 40 seconds to kill, 2:30 to go. 5-goal lead for the Windsor Aces, 10-5 your score. As Toronto gets it back in their own zone. Kravchenko tries to reset for the attack. Kravchenko dances with it. Up the wing, around Nacholenko. Kravchenko to the slot, deflected on the shot wide left. Picked up by Jaynes. Can he get a second goal this period as it goes its way back towards the Aces out of the zone? Gilbo will now clear it on the soft touch, saucer clear. Now Gilbo's in a fist fight. We got a fight on the bottom side of your screen, tied up in a fist fight with Kyle Hall after a check right after Gilbo put up the clear attempt. They're whispering Kyle Hall now to the penalty box. So Kyle Hall waved goodbye by Zach Gilbo as he'll go to the box after getting in a fight with Gilbo. Gilbo will join him in the box, as now we have 2 players apiece. Pardon me, 2 for the Aces, 1 for the Predators in the box. So it's now going to be 4 on 4, making now 4 on potentially 3. What they're doing here with the players in the box right now is, since it's a 2-minute fighting minor is what they have ruled, looking at this here, it looks like it's going to, in fact, now the Aces now getting the message of 4 on 3. We're back on our way as the Predators on the advantage. McGuire sets up, tic-tac pass, scores. This time it's Maxime Nakeef putting up the shot. And after 7 seconds this time on the power play, it's the second power play goal for Toronto, and they reduce the lead down to 10-6. Still 1 Ace and 1 Predator will sit in the box still. As we're going to get back into action, the Aces still have an extra player to deal with in the box. Right now at this point between these 2 teams, it's now back to 4 on 4 hockey involved with the 2-minute minors. Predators try and set up in the zone. McGuire off his stick outside the zone. Still off sides as it's tossed back to the neutral zone. Now McGuire can take it on sides. McGuire tries to wrap around Talipov. Checked behind Yupman. Now McGuire towards the slot. Drags the toe, rich shot. And how about that? McGuire scores. And Anthony Cruz may or may not be having a meltdown at this point, unfortunately, for the Windsor Aces. Make it now 6 goals allowed in the 3rd period. Cruz is staying in the net for the Windsor Aces, still a 3-goal lead. Still could be credited with the win with 1 minute and 21 seconds to go, but a whistle called quickly. With 1 minute 20 seconds to go, we're going to have another face-off. As we'll see where they say for the face-off. They say a face-off violation. We'll put it back to center ice. 1 player piece is still in the boxes. Meanwhile, it's still 4 on 4. And from what we've seen, there is a possibility of an advantage, it seems, on these shorthanded, on these 4 on 4 chances for Toronto so far. As Prevost loses the puck trying to deke around. Prevost tries to pass along. Now Seegers gets it. Seegers takes it out of the zone, trying to play keep away. And now takes it off sides instead for the face-off. 1 minute and 3 seconds to go now, as confusion reigns now. For those tuning in, it has turned to an absolute collapse, is all I can really say. What was a 9-1 lead at the start of this period has turned to a 10-7 lead for the Aces. Alex Seegers is now being swapped off the ice after slamming his stick down in frustration after the offsides as Prevost loses the draw. Minute to go. About a minute still for the 4 on 4. Should be possible 4 on 4 for potentially the remainder of this period. As now the Toronto Predators take it up. Can they do the impossible? Close a 3-goal lead in the span of a minute? We're about to see. As they try and set up the tick for tack again. Cruz, though, doesn't see the shot. Second shot blocked that time. Nakeef back behind the net. Sets up the tick for tack. Nakeef there for the chance, but slips down. Had a chance to make it a 2-goal game. As Stolf poked away Nakeef. Now Stolf gets it. Stolf away from the poke check. Olsen. Stolf still dances. Poked away by 2 Aces. Taking up Prevost. Prevost squeezes through for the breakaway. Digs around. Misses the chance. Net is knocked off its moorings as the referees will let play continue. They put the net back on its moorings with 5 seconds to go for the Windsor Aces. It was a tough 3rd period, but the first 40 minutes got the job done tonight. 10-7 is your final score for the Windsor Aces as they win Game 17 of the season. And for the Toronto Predators, you hear the horns in the backdrop, a sad horn in the backdrop. Their 20th loss in the season. And if they play this way, the way they did in the first 40 minutes rather, and especially the middle 20 minutes, it could have been a different story. 6 goals scored for Toronto in the final 20 minutes brings them to a 3-goal loss tonight. For the Windsor Aces, their next home game will be against their local rivals, the Kingsville Kings, December 22nd. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at 80 Knox Sherman Arena. We Digital Productions will also have your coverage as well for that action. Meanwhile, for the Toronto Predators, while they had the loss tonight, they have a chance to recover, but with a tough opponent. Tillsonburg will be their opponents on the road on December 21st before they get to the Christmas break, where they will take a break until January the 6th when they play St. George. But with that, it's time to say goodbye. For the rest of our crew, I'm Justin Prince saying so long for the Rose City. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage here from Knox Sherman Arena this weekend. You have a wonderful night. We'll see you when Kingsville comes back to town next weekend.